In this episode of YouTube channels for English teachers, we're looking at a Biography YouTube channel, and we'll be looking at the kind of things you can do with your students before you play a video, such as activating schemata and pre-teaching vocabulary. Okay, let's get started. So the channel we're focusing on today and this month is called Biography. And as you would imagine, it has biographies of famous people, whether that's celebrities, authors, politicians, you name it. And the video that we're featuring today is about Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. So let me play you about 15 seconds from the video so you get an idea about the genre and how it works, how it is structured.
2005, and 1 year later, Zuckerberg rejected a $1 billion offer from Yahoo to sell his company.
I think Mark never was going to sell that company. He was interested in creating a larger company. Many of the others on that board were interested in selling the company at that moment and cashing out. It would have been a big win for them, but he stuck to his guns.
Okay, so as you can see, a fairly typical documentary format. So we've got images and short videos about Zuckerberg's life, and we have people who are somehow connected to him or, his area of expertise, technology, that talk about him in these mini interviews in the documentary. So let's see some ideas that you can use with your students. This time we'll focus on what you can do before you watch the video. So in my experience with videos, the work you do before watching them is essential in a lesson. Basically what you want to do is you want to exploit the background knowledge that your learners already have. So in the worksheet, whose link you can find in the description of this video on YouTube, there are a few examples of questions that I would ask my students. And one option would be just to put these on the board or project them one at a time. Another option would be to dictate them to my students and have them discuss. I could have them on small slips of paper and they could be passed around the classroom. The format doesn't really matter. I think I would like them to discuss this in pairs, or if I have one-to-one student, then we would talk about these questions. Basically, I want to know what they already know about Zuckerberg and Facebook and what they already know about what a documentary is like as the genre, because that will help them process the video better. And then another thing I like helping my students with is some potentially blocking vocabulary that I find useful to pre-teach, so that it kind of primes them, and when it comes up in the listening, the video, then they can understand and they're not gonna just freeze and be unable to process the rest of the video. So last time I used this video with a bunch of high school students, and because of this I focused on expressions that they might not know, such as an IPO and a company's board and an out-of-court settlement. But with a business student, maybe those would be taken for granted, and then you would be focusing on different expressions such as sophomore year at Harvard. Which year is that exactly? What does that mean? I think that different classes need to be pre-taught different words. It's not always like these are the 5 expressions that you should pre-teach with every single class that you bring this video to. And sometimes there's no pre-teach necessary. So it's always a teacher's decision to see what is best for those students. And if you feel like your students need even more scaffolding, even more support with a video, then one thing you can do is design some true or false statements, which we often do around the video, but give these to the students before they would watch anything. So often we'll recommend have a gist task first and have a detailed task. But with some videos and some classes, it's going to be a good idea to give them as much of the information as possible beforehand, so then they can focus on listening and really understanding the content. So in the worksheet, whose link you'll find in the description of the video on YouTube, there are some ideas for true or false statements that you could use with this video. Give these out for students to work on individually first and then compare in pairs, and then they will know what to listen out for. I like doing this for videos where there are like no big surprises. It's not like a narrative and you don't know what happens. You know who Zuckerberg is, you know what Facebook is, you kind of know a little bit about its story up until 2012 when the video was made. So it's not like you're giving away something that students didn't know about. A final tip for classes where you might feel that students would find the video challenging is to give out this worksheet in a way, and this is also exemplified in the worksheet linked in the YouTube video description, that you have several versions of the worksheet for different students, and each student has at least one of the correct answers already given. And when they listen, when they watch the video and listen, their task is to listen for why that sentence is true or why that sentence is false. What is it they hear in the video that confirms that statement or contradicts the statement? But because you've given them true or false, it kind of takes some of the pressure away, so they know they will have the right answer. They just have to listen out for the why. And then this can influence feedback. So when you run feedback to this activity, you can nominate the people who you know have the right answer. And again, this will help students who worry that they won't understand anything because their listening skills are not that good. So that's it for today. The Biography YouTube channel with biographies of famous people that might interest your students or might be related to what you're covering in your course book. And some ideas that all focus on activating the background knowledge that students already have and pre-teaching some key vocabulary so that their experience of watching and understanding the video is as enjoyable as possible. Hope you like the ideas and you'll try the channel. See you next time. Bye.